Mackey Stadium to greet Washington State's Mike Leach. Wazoo's aerial attack only knows two speeds, fast and faster. But Nevada has its own warp speed offense. Don't blink, it's Washington State and Nevada right now. Pack takes the field here at Mackey Stadium in Reno, Nevada, as the Pac-12 Washington State Cougars take on the Mountain West Conference's Nevada Wolfpack. So glad you could join us on this Friday night from Reno, Nevada, along with former Oregon head coach Mike Bellotti. I'm Mark Neely. Shelley Smith also with us down on the field. We'll check in with Shelley shortly. Third season now for Mike Leach as the head coach for Washington State. His version of the spread requires one thing. That's a very accurate throwing passer.
Yeah, they don't call him the swashbuckler for nothing. The reality is he's going to swing his sword tonight. He may throw the ball 80 times. We never know, but he's comfortable. He loves throwing that ball open up. And the captain of his ship is Connor Halladay. Threw for 532 yards last week. And then in one game last year, threw 89 passes in the game. He has never seen a pass he didn't like. He loves to throw the ball all over the field.
Over 500 yards last week in their loss to Rutgers in Seattle. Nevada, known for the pistol offense. What their pistol need is not only an accurate throwing quarterback, but a quarterback that can run.
Yeah, and Cody Fajardo actually is the answer to that. Brian Polian wants a very physical offense that runs the ball with a mobile quarterback. Cody is soon to join the 10,000-yard club here at Nevada, joining some other great players. But he can really run. He can beat you with his feet or his arm.
And we should see him go over that 10,000 total yards of offense very early in this game. Shelley Smith, the third member of our broadcast team, down on the field with the head coach of the Pack, Brian Polian.
Coach, second year of this program, what is the identity you are hoping to establish?
We've got to get back to old-time Nevada football, running the ball and being very physical on both sides of the ball. And tonight's going to be a big test to see if we're going that direction.
You've worked with and studied under so many great coaches, Jim Harbaugh, Kevin Sumlin, Charlie Weiss, and of course your dad, Bill Polian. What have you learned from them?
Well, it all started with my dad, and then I've been fortunate to be with some great guys, and I've taken lessons from each guy, but the biggest lesson they've all taught me is just go be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. So hopefully my personality's starting to reflect on this team, and we can go out and compete our tails off tonight.
You said you got your dad's temper. What are we going to see tonight?
Well, he called me about 3 hours before kickoff and told me to keep my cool. So it's the pot calling the kettle black.
All right, we know he's watching, so say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks to you.
Cooler heads prevailing right now. Washington State lost last week to Rutgers. Nevada won here at home against Southern Utah. Kickoff from Reno is straight ahead. Back in Reno, Nevada. Wonderful night for football here with Washington State taking on Nevada. Nevada won the coin toss. They will receive. Nevada wearing the white. It is a whiteout here tonight. Now Washington State wearing the gray with the crimson trim. We are set to go. Washington State to kick off. Eric Powell, redshirt freshman out of Vancouver, Washington, with Kendall Brock on the left, Elijah Mitchell on the right. There's Brock, a senior from Fresno. Pac-12 Mountain West Conference matchup here in Reno tonight. Glad to have you with us on this Friday night, and we are ready to go. Mitchell decides to take it out from 2 yards deep. Using a block from Brock. Doing a lot of east-west running. Does not make it to the 20, up to about the 18, where Nevada will begin their first possession. And that brings us to the senior from Southern California, Brea, California, out of Servite High School, Cody Fajardo.
He is the embodiment of what Coach Polian wants in a quarterback, because he can beat you with his arm or his legs. He's the guy that can keep the defense honest with those pistol reads or the zone read come out of it, but he throws the ball very, very well.
Come out in the pistol. And Fajardo throwing on first down. A completion. Hassan Henderson out of bounds. Mark him out about the 26-yard line. Picks up about 8 on first down.
You love that kind of come out throwing the ball, come out aggressive, get that defense on their heels a little bit, get a second and 2 or 3 here where you can do anything you want, maybe go for the big one.
Well, second down and 2. Fajardo keeping it, electing not to hand off to Jackson.
That's the play right there that the Washington State coaches said they had to stop. That dart play with the fly sweep going one way and him coming up in the middle, that's the play they're scared about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 96, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Xavier Cooper, the defensive tackle for Washington State, called for the personal foul face mask, so a first down for Nevada. And when they mark off the penalty, it'll be a first down all the way up to the Nevada 41.
Impact players tonight, in my opinion, Jericho Richardson, 13 receptions last week for 177 yards. On the other side, Destiny Vial, he is a guy from Pago Pago, but he's the key to the Washington State defense. He's got to hold the edge and rush the quarterback.
The Vial family watching tonight in American Samoa. We say hey to them tonight, which is actually probably morning or afternoon over there tomorrow. There's a jet screen, that jet sweep to Kendall Brock. We've been anticipating that play. Nevada did not run this play in their first game against Southern Utah.
No, they saved it. But the way they run this is really unique. They toss the ball forward, so in case there's any fumble, it's an incomplete pass and you don't lose the yardage.
It was second down and 13. First possession of the game. Cody Fajardo and the Nevada Wolfpack wearing the whites. Fajardo to throw. Here comes the rush. Dangerous pass. Broken up, incomplete. That's an extra pushing and shoving at the end. Jeff Farrar, the cornerback, on the coverage of Hassan Henderson. There at the 45. Incomplete pass, and then a little pushing and shoving at the end.
Watch the finish of this play. Fajardo's a little late on this. He's got a long arm motion, and that was up for grabs. These DBs are going to drive a little faster than the former opponent, Southern Utah.
Daquan Brown over there on the coverage of Henderson. So it's a 3rd and long for the Wolfpack, a 3rd and 13. Fajardo retreating and just slings it. Washington State is hoping for a flag for intentional grounding. No flag, but it is going to be 4th down in Nevada to punt. Destiny Vial among a big group of Washington State pressuring the quarterback.
And they talked about the fact they were fairly vanilla last week. They needed to change up the look and create a lot more pressure on the quarterback, which they did. He got just outside the tackle box, which is not a penalty for grounding the ball.
Alex Boy, a sophomore out of Long Beach, California, punting for the Wolfpack. And a low punt, takes a bounce to Galvin. Brought down at the 26-yard line. Malcolm Lee on special teams making the tackle for Nevada. So pretty good starting field position after a 49-yard punt.
The speed and athleticism of a Pac-12 team should show up in special teams, because that's where some of your players should actually be better than this league. Now, Nevada Reno may not believe it yet.
And the quarterback for Washington State, get ready. He's going to air it out. Connor Halladay.
Quick feet, accurate. He gets better with every rep he takes, and he can handle any type of throw. He understands defenses now, so he can feel pressure and knows when to get rid of the ball.
Last week against Rutgers, 40 for 56, 532 yards, 5 TDs, 1 pick. Quick wide receiver screen pass. Broken. Robert Lewis down the sideline has a first down. A redshirt freshman with the catch.
That's a defensive coach's nightmare. The simple screen is just a long running play in reality, but you got to make the tackle and you got to contain. When you miss a tackle in open space, that's what you're afraid of against a team like Washington State.
First collegiate catch for Lewis. Gain of 13. Halladay coming to the near side, off the hands, incomplete. Once again looking for Robert Lewis.
And one of the things you notice about Halladay, he catches the ball. This is truly a catch and release offense. He catches the ball and he knows where to go. That ball is gone. He's anticipating the movement. He understands where the holes are in the defense.
2 backs there, Wicks and West. We'll see how long it takes before Halladay actually hands the ball off to one of those backs. He won't be here on 2nd and 10. He's going to take off, tumbles forward. Picks up about 4 to the 44, and a late flag comes out again, and Halladay holding his head.
I couldn't tell on that. It was a very poor attempt at a slide. It was sort of a shuffle fall, but he may have gotten hit there. We'll have to see a replay or see what happens. Let the officials figure this one out.
Brandon Cruz, our referee tonight.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Matthew Lyons, the weak side linebacker, apparently came in late, but Brian Polian does not agree with that call.
Yeah, you know, I don't agree with it either. I don't see anything there that would constitute a personal foul. Maybe he, you know, right there, he ducked the head just a little bit. And I'll tell you what, all it is, if you make any forward motion with your helmet as a battering ram, you're going to get called.
But the question there, Coach, he really didn't slide.
No, he didn't. And you're right. It's hard, too, when a offensive player drops his helmet and shoulder pads. And what are you trying to do? That's difficult.
Halladay, quick pass dropped by Isaiah Myers. They tried to set up that wide receiver screen.
And the impact players when Washington State has the ball, Vince Maley, he only caught 12 passes for 124 yards in one game last week. Great offseason, great route runner. But on the other side, Brock Hecking, you take a look at him, business in front, party in the back. He's the best pure pass rusher, power and speed that they have.
Oh, I love that hair. They have not targeted Maley yet. He's at the top of your screen. Halladay looks to the far side this time. First catch of the night for Vince Maley, but he is quickly wrapped up by Tarry Callaway, the strong safety.
Great job of tackling in space. This is a one-on-one situation. It's what we call a smoke throw. If you're not covered, he's going to turn no matter what the play called in the huddle. He's going to throw it out there and let him work one-on-one. Great at open field tackle.
Callaway, a redshirt freshman out of Seattle, Washington, so he's a Washington native. Cougars 1 of 3 so far on third down. Picked off. Headed down the sideline. And brought out of bounds at the 10. Kendall Johnson, the DB with the pick.
Great example of showing pressure and dropping out in play zone. Take a look. Those guys now drop into coverage. That's a zone coverage. He thought he was throwing into man-to-man because he thought he had soft pressure early. Great job by the defense of disguising. Huge turnover, huge field position opportunity.
And what a play for 26, Kendall Jackson, who's a true freshman. Lafayette, Louisiana. So the interception and return for freshman Kendall Johnson. Returned at 45 yards.
One other thing, when you're in this position, I guarantee you, coach on the sideline, Coach Polian is talking about, guys, we've got to score a touchdown. We've got to take advantage of the opportunities, and it cannot be a field goal. We got to have a touchdown right here. Take advantage of this turnover.
Washington State and Nevada scoreless with 2:45 to play in the first quarter. An interception for the true freshman Kendall Johnson.
Take a look right here. This is the corner, and this is safety going over the top. Now watch as this play develops. The quarterback, Halladay, thinks that guy's covering the outside receiver. He steps up in front, does a great job of stepping in front of the flat. Fooled the quarterback. Errant throw. Huge play and huge opportunity.
Halladay was the one that brought him out of bounds after the 45-yard return. So Nevada has a first down at the 12-yard line of Washington State, trying to take advantage of the Cougars' turnover. Jackson lowers his head for just a yard.
So far, it's been tough sledding against that Washington State defense. Those guys up front are big and physical. They're going to start to need to use Fajardo to loosen up that front, to attack the flanks.
With number 98, Tony Pole with that last tackle, with 6'1", 300-pounder. And number 98. Nevada has 7 rushes for -1 yard. They try to help that total and do so. Stumbling forward near the first down is Don Jackson.
I'll tell you what, give the coaches credit for patience. They're going to pound that middle and establish that running game. See a great job up front of a huge hole, establishing it, and Jackson just tripped up. Might have scored on that one.
So it's third down and about a yard. And there's the Bill Polian card that comes out. There's a variety of cards there to indicate the play, formation, etc. to the Nevada offense. Jackson will have the first down. Not the touchdown, but does have the first down. It'll be first and goal after a gain of 2.
And that play might have been the third down and the fourth down call if they didn't get it. I don't know if there was the first down call.
No new card coming out yet there from the sideline. First and goal from the 2. Jackson running left, cuts it back into the end zone. Touchdown, Nevada. Second rushing touchdown of the year for Don Jackson, the junior out of Sacramento. And it's Nevada that scores first tonight.
Nice job, a form of student body left. You can see everybody reaching on that way, and Jackson just makes a guy miss and then just barely gets in that end zone following his offensive line. Nice job, great job of capitalizing on the turnover, ending in a touchdown, not just a field goal.
Jackson had all 4 carries on that drive and puts it in the end zone. Point after for Brent Zuzo out of the hole to Braden Sanchez. Four plays, all Jackson runs. It took up 12 yards, including this 2-yard touchdown run to open the scoring tonight in Reno. 7-0 Pack with 1:18 to play in the first quarter. It is a whiteout here tonight at Mackey Stadium in Reno. What is officially a 1-yard touchdown run for Don Jackson. 7-0 Nevada with 1:18 to play in the first quarter. Brent Zuzo kicks off. And a line drive taken at the 5. Christoph Williams stood up at the 25 and tackled there. Washington State, Halladay, a wide receiver screen in the move. Williams up to the 33-yard line.
Once again, people like to complain about the fact that Washington State doesn't have much of a running game. That is their running game. It's just a longer handoff than usual.
To Vince Mayley, number 1.
Mike Leach says he wants to put the ball in the hands of his playmakers. Doesn't matter if he hands it to him, throws it to him, laterals it to him.
Handed off to Wicks. But he's brought down for a loss back at the 30-yard line.
That was a draw play, which you would think would be a very much featured play in this Washington State attack. Because they throw the ball so much, it's really hard for defensive linemen who get into their pass rush moves then to motor down and play the run. But great job by that front of Nevada Reno.
Rakeem Yates getting the tackle, a loss of 4, bringing up a 3rd and 6. Wazoo 1 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Halladay. Too far out of reach. Looking for Ricky Galvin. And it takes us to the end of quarter number 1.
Halladay limping off just a little bit right here. You get piled up on there. He may or may not. That's not great body language when you're down by 7 points.
Well, if you wondered how you kill time in the biggest little city in the world, sometimes you just climb the walls.
I think I did that last night in my room. I don't know.
Well, an interesting first quarter here in Reno. 4th down here, Washington State on to punt. Jordan DeScalo gets the high punt away. Turner takes it at his own 20. 25-30, tackled from behind at the 34-yard line. Right back. James Butler broke one hole, but then a hard hit at the 26. He does pick up 5. Daquan Brown applied that hit on him, and you see 11 freshmen who played last Saturday against Southern Utah, and 5 of those true freshmen, including this true freshman, James Butler.
Coach Poland said there are a couple kids he had to get rid of, necessitating the use of freshmen if they were competent to play.
Fajardo keeps wrapped up. Looks like he has a first down, though, across the 30 to the 31 and picks up 6.
And they're pretty comfortable right now running the football. Whether they give it to the tailback, the quarterback keeps it. They're still pounding right now between the tackles, which will take his toll as the game wears on.
It is indeed a first down for Nevada at their own 31. Butler kept the feet moving. It does pick up a yard and a half or so, but that was a tough yard and a half.
I'll tell you what, he got blasted. The player came in at the end of that and just laid a knock on the pile that moved the whole thing back 2 yards.
And number 4, Daquan Brown, who's a sophomore out of L.A.
And he's not that big, but I'll tell you what, he packs a wallet.
9 straight rushing plays for Nevada. They will not make it 10 as Fajardo puts it in the air to Richie Turner. 9 catches for Turner last week.
Again, this is a long throw, and I'll tell you what, those DBs are right in the proximity, so I would be careful making those type of throws from the hash to the opposite sideline.
To the pickup of 5, 3rd and 3, and Fajardo down the middle of the field, splits 2 defenders. Ankle tackled at the 7. And we see the wheels of the quarterback for Nevada, Cody Fajardo, right there.
And what did the coaches say? He's faster than you think. Here's the zone read or dart play where he's going straight ahead. He splits the safeties and nothing but a shoestring tackle saves a touchdown on the play.
Charleston White, the one who saved the touchdown, a 55-yard run for Fajardo. He finds the back. Butler to the sideline, hit there at about the 4.
It was a nice catch by Butler, too. That was not a perfectly thrown pass. With running backs, we used to talk about hit them in the elbows, hit them really close to their body, don't make them reach too far, but he does a great job of reaching behind him, corrals that ball, and then is just knocked out or makes the first guy miss, which is what you want to do, and then right there steps out before contact.
That has been perfect in the red zone. 5 of 5. All touchdowns. Butler uses his blocker and walks into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, on the earlier drive, they scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. They featured Don Jackson. This time, Coach, they featured James Butler with the 1-yard touchdown run to finish it off.
And they're taking control of this game on the ground, which is just what Coach Polian talked about. He wants his teams to have that identity. Run the football. Be tough.
Rizzuto's point after not through. 14-0. Nevada.
See the touchdown, they pull you off guard or tackle, and he does a great job of clearing through. Huge hole on the right side of that line. You and I probably could have scored on that play.
As left guard 72, Jeremy McCauley just kind of pushed McCauley in the back and said, hey, big fella, I'm coming into the end zone with you.
I'll follow your path. I could be your shadow.
Well, Washington State started slowly offensively last week in Seattle against Rutgers. They scored just 3 points on their first 4 drives of the game, and then they scored TDs on 4 of their next 5 after that. Nevada leading Washington State 14-0 here with 8:47 to play till halftime. Shelly Smith down on the field has more on the safety for Nevada, Duran Workman. Shelly?
Yeah, Duran Workman was on the bench. They had 4 trainers looking at him. They were manipulating his right knee as if to try to tell whether there was anything serious. He's doing some high stepping. They fitted him and put a sleeve on it. He's been on the bike. He's backpedaling on the sidelines. They say it's obviously right knee and probable return.
Probable return. That's good to hear. Thank you, Shelley. Halladay across the middle and a first down catch for Robert Lewis up to the 36.
And Halladay has been streaky, as we've talked about. He can go on a binge where he hits 15 in a row. Will this be the start of something big for Washington State? We'll see.
Haven't said Vince Mailey's name very often tonight for Washington State. He's been their big back, big wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen, number 1. Halladay dumps it off. And with a move down the sideline goes Isaiah Myers. He's up to midfield and another first down for Washington State, a gain of 14.
And that's great help from your wide receiver. That was a pass that traveled 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. He ended up making 2 people miss, getting a huge gain. And that's one of the things Coach Leach offense is run after catch. Make people miss, make plays in space.
Halladay hands it off. Theron West all the way to the 31-yard line, and another Wazoo first down before being tackled by Evan Favors.
They have the ability to score quick. It has usually been through the air, but they may want to take a little bit of heat off of Connor Halladay, let him relax a little bit. Maybe they'll run the ball a little bit more.
That 19-yard run for West is the longest run of the season so far for Washington State. Halladay back to the air at the 15-yard line, and another first down for Dom Williams.
He seems to be in a better rhythm. He's reading the defense. He understood what he had that time. Hit the slant on the weak side. Knew where to go with the ball.
Washington State methodically moving down the field. First down at the Nevada 13. Fade to the end zone. There's a flag. Caught. Touchdown. Mailey with the TD. We'll see if it stands.
Somebody may have moved the line of scrimmage. It may have been the defense because they were trying to get the jump
Offside.
on the snap count.
Defense, number 54. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Right there inside. Tell you what, this is some explosion. That's caught on the fingertips. That is a perfect throw and a perfect catch.
So Mailey with the 14-yard touchdown reception. We've just been saying we hadn't said Vince's name very often.
He needed all 6'3", 2 of that frame to get that ball.
And the point after, knocked through by Eric Powell. Well, that's the Washington State offense that we've become used to seeing.
Yeah, it doesn't take them a lot of time, and it's all about rhythm. One of the things that Coach Leach talked about, he doesn't care if the defense plays man or zone. He just cares that his receivers and his quarterback both see the same thing and are on the same page.
And really a drive Washington State needed to get their offense going.
No question. They were down. When you get 3 scores down, there's a thing that goes off in everybody's mind that, okay, it's not the panic button, but it's pretty close. When you keep it within 2 scores or can whittle it down to 1, this is a game now.
Now to kick off with Brock and Mitchell back deep for Nevada. Mitchell is from the 1. Forward progress gets him up right around to the 20. Great to have you with us on this Friday night college football primetime, along with Mike Bellotti and Shelley Smith. I'm Mark Neely. Handoff Jackson, tripped up, stumbles forward up to the 25 for a gain of 5 on first down.
I keep saying this, I like Jackson. He's a step away a couple times now from breaking it, and he's got that kind of balance and ability to break tackles.
Junior out of Sacramento, Bruton Creek High School. The Fajardo keeping. Maybe a yard that time.
And one of the things you saw Washington State that time, add linebackers. They weren't getting it done with their three-man front. They had to bring some pressure, and this is a run blitz type thing. They're going to put a lot of people in the box, make sure that they stop the run, but most importantly, stop Fajardo straight ahead.
Wolfpack 2 of 6 on third down tonight. Deflected, incomplete. Going for the tight end, Jared Gibson, but right there was Cachet Palacio.
They like him. They think he can play. He can cover anywhere on the field. They brought pressure to quicken the release. You see it coming off that far side. Unblocked right there, so he's got to get rid of the ball. But watch this right here. This is almost a potential interception. And Cody has to get a sense of, I've got to get rid of the ball quicker. I got to lean a little farther. The athleticism of the Washington State defense is making those passes too close.
This time it's Alex Boyd to punt. You were wondering about the Washington State defense, how they'd respond, Coach. They did there. This low punt bounces to the 22. Galvin avoids one tackler. But then wrapped up and falls up towards the 30-yard line. Set up the pass, the screen, wide receiver to Myers. First down across the 40, up near the 45.
Too many missed tackles. You cannot allow that to happen. You have two guys have a chance to take the guy down, and a 30-yard lateral becomes a 15-yard gain.
First down for the Cougars to the far side. The completion once again to Isaiah Myers. Looks like he has the first down at about the 33-yard line, tackled by Evan Favors.
And I think we could say Halladay's got in rhythm.
This is kind of how it went last week for them against Rutgers. First 4 or 5 drives, they really scuffled. And then their next 5 drives, 4 touchdowns on 4 of the 5. Halladay going towards the end zone, incomplete. Was leading the receiver towards the end zone. And Nigel Hakins coming over to defend Morrow.
He's throwing to a hole in the zone. You can see him, he stands in there, gets bumped a little bit, but he's already predetermined. He's thrown to that spot to green grass, as they say, and just slightly overthrown, but great anticipation by Halladay.
Robert Lewis, the intended receiver there, he's been a frequent target tonight. This one dropped at the 20. Dropped by Dom Williams.
Yeah, it may have been tipped. Jonathan Beal might have got just a pinky on this. Let's take a look, because usually receiver will catch that. Yeah, he did. That ball changed on him. That receiver was frustrated because he thought he had a chance to catch it. Great job by McNeil getting under that route.
Halladay had completed 8 straight passes before that last misfire. Finds Maley down the sideline. And Maley has the first down for Washington State, run out by Nigel Hakins.
I would have liked to seen a 4th down, because I believe they would have gone for it. Didn't have to worry about it now. Got to tackle in space. Another same thing. The receivers have to be good blockers. They have to occupy the defenders. If you can get them on the ground, that's even better.
First down, Washington State at the Nevada 16. Halladay right along the sideline to Dom Williams.
Very comfortable getting a similar coverage to the 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. They're playing off on the outside. This is an easy throw, just a timing throw. Receiver waits for the ball, taps his feet down inbounds, gets over the first down marker. They're going to throw that all night long unless they change the look on the widest receiver to the wide side of the field.
Saw Myers there get the left foot down. Handed off, Wicks. Stopped at the 3 for a gain of 3. Big hit by Matthew Lyons.
Combination tackle. That's a nice tackle, though, in the open field, because that's really hard to do when the running back has a two-way go.
Halladay again looking to the near side. Well, he was wanting Tom Williams. At that time, they had a couple of defenders over in that area right near the goal line, including Charles Garrett, number 24, the cornerback.
If the Nevada defense can hold Washington State to a field goal attempt, that's obviously a form of a victory. It's a moral victory, maybe points, but they certainly do not want to give up a touchdown.
Mainly on the sidelines. It is 3rd down and goal from the 8 play. Halladay towards the back of the end zone, contact and a flag. Williams was bumped by the aforementioned Garrett, and it's going to be 1st and goal again.
There was no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball was uncatchable. 4th down.
You're right on it.
Well, I would have been yelling the same thing if I was a coach out there. So it has to be, in order to be pass interference, the ball must catch it. I think they could have called defensive holding, though, no question, because he grabs the guy right there. So, I'm surprised they didn't call holding.
So the drive stalls, and on 4th down, Eric Powell want to attempt a 25-yard field goal. He hit a 22-yarder last week against Rutgers and missed from 50. Went 1 for 2 a week ago. Sneaks it inside that right upright and makes it a 14-10 game. And we have come to the end of the first half here in Reno, with Nevada owning a 14-10 lead over Washington State.
Yeah, interesting. I think if you're the underdog and you have the lead and you don't want to risk giving the ball back to a team that's just scored the last 2 times they touched the ball, I understand that.
Shelley's down on the field with Coach Polian. Shelley.
All right, Coach. Connor Halladay and the offense seem to be figuring something out. What do you need to do defensively to change that?
They've sped up a little bit. We need to keep up. We got to stop it with the penalties. We've kept them alive on some drives with some dumb penalties, and we need to tackle. What they're doing right now is not earth-shattering stuff. We need to tackle in space.
And what if they start figuring out how to stop the run?
Well, then that's their challenge. We're gonna figure out how to keep running it, and when the time comes, we'll take our shots. Look, we by no means did we play a perfect half. We're up. We got a long way to go, and we're gonna go get our guys ready for the challenge.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, you mentioned, Mike, some poor tackling hurt Nevada, and Coach Polian mentioning that as well. Well, Nevada scored the first 14 points of the half. Washington State the final 10. Nevada leads it by 4 here at the intermission. We'll send you to the studio for the halftime report. All ready to start the second half in Reno. Nevada scored the game's first 14 points. Washington State the last 10 of the first half. It's a 4-point game as we start the 3rd quarter. A whiteout here at Mackey Stadium in Reno. Great to have you with us, along with Shelley Smith. And former Oregon head coach Mike Bellotti. I'm Mark Neely. Nevada to kick to begin the half. Brent Zuzo to kick off with Ricky Galvin, Christoph Williams all back deep. Scooped up at the 5. Wicks still on his feet. Up to the 30. What were your impressions, Coach, of the first half?
Well, I thought both teams committed too many penalties. They're both on track for double-digit penalties, which will hurt you. For Nevada, the key is tackling. For Washington State, it's about eliminating turnovers.
Well, both teams kind of struggled offensively early, but Fajardo really got things going offensively for Nevada with his 55-yard run. Helped set up a score. They got out to the 14-0 lead, and then it was the Washington State offense that found its rhythm. Halladay had a big second quarter. After a couple of picks, he did find Vince Maley for a score, and it's Washington State with the first possession of the second half. Galvin wrapped up and thrown down at the 40, but not before he picks up 9. It's picked up more from down at field level. Once again, here's Shelley Smith.
Connor Halladay got hit pretty hard in that first half, and Brian Polian told us this week that he becomes a different player when he's hit hard like that. And Mike Leach admitted as much, saying he needs to settle down. That's what we need to do. And you know, Leach, not a man of many words. He just said we've just got to play better.
Thanks, Shelley. Halladay now flushed. And he's going to step out back at the 32.
You know, we talked about overall in that first half, he had 2 interceptions and 2 sacks. Did a nice job there, but I would love to have seen him throw the ball away just to save yardage.
As a result, he loses 4 yards.
He's not the most mobile guy. He's not going to use his feet. He's got to use his eyes, his brain, and his arm to lead his team.
Those are the first half numbers for Halladay. First 5 drives, and then came alive on the last 2. Hands it off. Morrow, first down. Up to 49, close to a first down. It's going to leave him about 2 yards short. Got a pretty good head of steam initially coming through the line.
The draw play is a great play against a team that wants to try to rush the quarterback, because they get in a pass rush mode. They don't think about canceling the running game, and it sets up the lineman can just ride them by. Big success for Washington State running the ball with the draw.
Gain 17, 3rd and 2.
I guess they're going to throw it. They've got single coverage on the outside.
Going deep down the sideline, a little push it incomplete at the 25. Well, wow. Brought in at the 19 by Dom Williams.
I'll tell you what, this is great coverage. Does a nice job, as good as he can be right there. Doesn't know where the ball is. Great job by the wide receiver, finding it coming through the defender's arms. Perfectly thrown pass. As I said, there's no fear on their part about throwing to a covered receiver.
Great look there from our crew. That was the best angle. Definitely caught a gain of 32. He was looking for Morrow, instead floats it towards Maley's direction at the 20, but incomplete coverage there. Once again by the freshman Kendall Johnson, who had the interception earlier tonight.
Got a little bit surprised. Thought he had an easy throw into the strong side flat to the multiple receiver side. Came back, and luckily, though, had the presence of mind to throw it away, save the down and distance.
There's 3 receivers up top. Looking in that direction. Instead, dumps it off Williams. Across the 20. Back near the original line of scrimmage. Stopped by the weak side linebacker Matthew Lyons, a gain of 9.
Little crossing route. Good patience by Halladay. He waited for the receiver to come open. It was a zone defense. Now he cut down. Now they're semi-manageable 3rd and 10. The real key is Leach would tell his quarterback is, what are they doing? Is it man or zone? Don't worry about who threw it to yet, but read the coverage and throw the open guy.
Tom Williams down there at the bottom of your screen. It's done a pass over the middle, incomplete. I think the receiver had already lost his footing. Evan Favors, as well as Jordan Dobrich on the coverage, and it's 4th down.
Looks like the field goal team coming on. Watch out for fakes down here in scoring territory on the road. You got to be willing to take chances.
Well, Eric Powell hit from 25 earlier. This is a 37-yard attempt. Out of the hold of River Craycraft. Near that upright, but missed it right. So the drive stalls in the 35-yard attempt, and Washington State comes up empty.
No, although Stanford's not quite the same team, they're a passing team now. Ty Montgomery has emerged, just as the running game for Nevada may have reemerged.
Ron Jackson with a 19-yard pickup. And a first down up to the 39-yard line. Fajardo keeping. A drop for a loss. Back at the 37. By Taylor Taliulu.
And he knew he was stuck that time. That was almost like a slide. He was going to go down, avoid letting the first guy hit him, second guy try to get the ball. Smart decision.
Lost a yard, 2nd and 11. Fajardo keeping. Back to the line of scrimmage. Washington State's defense doing a better job against Fajardo, at least Fajardo's running attempts.
You know, when your opponent has missed 2 straight field goals, you feel like you've dodged a bullet, but you also feel like you need to show up on offense. You need to do a little bit here. Halladay versus Fajardo, you know, the rushing numbers don't say anything. The passing numbers don't say anything. Nevada has to get on track offensively, needs a drive, because Washington State probably should be ahead in this game right now. 2 fairly makeable field goals.
Yeah, they missed 35 and 38-yard attempts here in the 3rd quarter. Fajardo. First down. Hassam Henderson to the 40 of Washington State.
He got man coverage on the backside, one-on-one. This is a throw. This skinny post, he can throw this. He loves to throw it right on line. Drilled it in there.
22-yard gain. Surprise. Jackson off left tackle for a gain of 2.
Yeah, they're sneaky when they accelerate that tempo. They want to use it after a 1st down or on a 2nd down prior to a 3rd down so they can create the matchups they want and not allow the other team to substitute.
Minute to play in this 3rd quarter. Jackson. Be about a yard short of the 1st down. And runs there for 7.
Very patient runner. If you notice, he took off, sort of stopped, started, saw the hole inside, cut back, and then used his power to almost get the 1st down. I like the way he runs.
There's a touchdown run tonight, a 1-yard TD run that actually opened the scoring. Right back to him for the 1st down. Head to the 27 to move the chains.
They've rediscovered the energy necessary to create some holes and some movement up front. And I think they're going to continue to do that because that has been their bread and butter all night long.
Right back. So the tempo, will they get the playoff? That's Butler. To the 23, and that's the final play of this 3rd quarter. No scoring in the 3rd quarter, though Washington State missed a couple of field goal attempts. Well, they don't get Pac-12 teams to come to Reno all that often. And we begin the 4th quarter, Nevada leading Washington State 14-10. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Jimmy John's. Okay, you're not Johnny Football, but maybe you can make Sports Center. First play of the 4th quarter. Fajardo keeping. Sidesteps the defender, but then tumbles down at the 12-yard line. If he'd been able to stay on his feet, he may have scored.
Great job. They ran the read play on the inside tackle. They turned loose the guy inside, and then he tackled the running back. Fajardo pulled the ball. Huge hole. Made the most of it.
A 1st down at the 12 of Washington State. You just get the feeling, Mike, that Nevada has to score at some point. I don't think 14 points is going to win this football game for them.
I agree. And I think they need touchdowns, not field goals. Although any kind of points here is good because it would make it at least a full touchdown possession ball game. They got to score, though. You cannot miss. You can't afford to pass up opportunities to score. One of the things that they talked about from an offensive standpoint was they needed to score touchdowns in the red zone. So far they have.
Richardson, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. He had 13 catches last week against Southern Utah. Has not caught a ball yet tonight. Falling forward, Butler. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And a long 4. Make it 5. There's Richardson's numbers last week. 177 yards on those 13 catches. Washington State has kept him quiet.
No offense to him, that may be a product of who they played and the style of defense. He got some easy throws by deficiencies, I believe, in the defense. But this will be an interesting down.
Play fake. Looking back. He's got a blocker. Jackson stepping out right near the 2. Close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
This is a throwback screen. They do a great job of setting up, and he lets the blocking get in front. It's a great job, great patience by him. It's going to be interesting to see where this ball is spotted. Looks like it's 4th down. Big play. And I'm going to guess they run the ball here.
He's about a yard short. 4th and 1. Nevada going for it at the Washington State 3-yard line. Jackson. Does he have enough? The spot will be key.
We can't really tell where the ball was. It looks like, according to our line, that the ball, he probably have reached it.
Now almost the length of the football. 1st and goal, Nevada.
Brian Pullian, if they end up winning this game, is going to get what he wants out of it. He's proved that they have an identity and that they can run the ball against anyone, and that they will run the ball anywhere on the field, any down and distance.
14th play of this drive upcoming for Nevada, and 1st and goal from the 2. Jackson flips into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
They stayed true to their identity. They kept that ball on the ground. 13 rushes, only 1 pass play that entire drive. Gotta please Coach Pullian.
And all the looks that we had of the spot, there was certainly not enough video evidence to overturn the call for replay official David Dumas. And it results in a 14-play Nevada scoring drive. Zuzo's extra point attempt. 21-10, Nevada. And the 2nd touchdown run of the game for Don Jackson. And the first points for Nevada since a Butler 1-yard touchdown run about 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter.
And I guarantee you there's no relaxing on the Nevada sideline, though. 11 points for this Washington State team with Mike Leach calling plays and Connor Halladay cutting it loose. They just have to continue to play great defense. And if they do get the ball back, they've got to think about running time off the clock. And the best way to do that is run the ball as they've done.
And Nevada touchdown, the first points for either team so far here in the 2nd half, as Washington State has missed a couple of field goal attempts. From the 5, Morrow. A nice return for Washington State. Morrow all the way out to the 40. 36-yard return. Galvin to the 46.
And Washington State is going to continue to do what they do, throw the wide screens, believe that they can outrun people in space or make people miss. And for Nevada, they have to tackle. They've got a gang tackle, pursuit of the ball.
Bailey, the receiver, at the top of the screen. Leaping catch from Bailey, who lunges forward to the 34-yard line, brought down by Nigel Hakins. First down.
Bailey, absolutely no fear. He knows there's a safety in there, goes up for the pass. Connor Halladay, no fear because he's got Bailey to throw the ball to.
Now Washington State marching down the field. First down at the 34, Nevada. Give it to West. Darren West for the 27. Tackled there by defensive end Dupree Roberts Jordan.
Washington State ahead of the chains. The difficult decision for Nevada, coverage or pressure. Coverage or pressure. And then for Washington State, it's recognition of what they decide.
Halladay to the near side. At the 20-yard line, the completion to Isaiah Myers. Another first down.
He knows right where he's going with the ball. Perfect throw despite the coverage. They've got to find, Nevada has to find a way to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. Right now he's too comfortable.
They stack 3 receivers up top. Halladay hands it off to West. Up to the 16. Gains 3 or 4. Tackled there by Hecking.
The draw play is a great equalizer, a great neutralizer of pass rush. If you're getting too much of a pass rush from the defensive line, you call the draw to neutralize their pass rush.
Bailey back in at the top of your screen. Galvin in the slot up on the top side. Halladay fires a bullet incomplete at the 3. The coverage there for Charles Garrett.
A lot of contact between those two. They're bumping each other right off the line. Got away with one, maybe that backside hand, but I'll tell you what, that was very physical all the way down, both by the wide receiver and the DB.
Yeah, but you're right, Mike. Garrett got the arm around the waist of Myers there. Got away with that. And a 3rd and 7.
I predict no field goal attempt here, regardless of what happens.
Still think it's four down territory here?
I do. And where's Maley? I'm going his way. I'm going his way whether it's man or zone.
Maley not in there on that package. And the receiver stopped short. That was Galvin. He had Lane covering.
It was a great job because the defense disguised enough it created confusion in the mind of the quarterback and the receiver as to what they should do.
Well, Eric Powell has missed from 35 and 38 yards in this half. You'd be looking at a similar attempt here. And Mike Leach is going to give Quentin Brashears an opportunity. This will be his first field goal attempt. 38-yard attempt for Quentin Brashears. Plenty of leg and knocks it through. Washington State may have a new place kicker.
Yeah, and they make it now a 1-possession ball game, but it'll force Washington State to have to go for 2, which is always exciting.
Thanks for staying up late with us in Reno. It's a good time to stay up late if you so choose. 21-13, Nevada leading Washington State here in the 4th quarter. Mitchell back deep along with Kendall Brock. Now Mitchell is not going to return that. Nevada will begin from the 20 with 9.5 minutes still to play. Fajardo keeping. An incompletion at the 33, looking for Richie Turner.
He talked about it. I told him it's a tough place to play. He said he knows. He's been here before.
And Fajardo with a first down run up to the 38-yard line. Gain of 13.
He's so quick. Like the coaches say, he is faster than you think. He does a great job on the read right here. The interior tackle tackles the back, which opens up the huge lane for Fajardo.
Butler tripped up. Butler, I think the turf made the tackle on that one. He loses a yard.
He was trying to cut without his feet under him. He saw something and just was trying to bust it a little too quick.
Send Henderson in motion. Fajardo keeping. Tackled hard at the 48 for a gain of 3. Stapled down there by Mitchell Peterson.
They're taking a little bit more time in between plays on this drive too. So they're trying to extend it by snapping the ball, you know, with 10 to 15 seconds left instead of 20 or 30. They're milking the clock a little bit right now between snaps.
Snap it with 8 on the play clock there. And Fajardo throws a strike to Henderson. And a Nevada first down at the Washington State 25, but Henderson slow to get up.
We talk about the range, the big receiver. Here's the pressure coming. Fajardo does a nice job. The line picks it up. He puts the ball right on the money. Henderson goes up a 6'5" to start with, but look at him leap into the air. That's great range. That's a guy you want to throw the ball to. Unfortunately, landed a little bit wrong.
He showed that he is shaken up. One left, Butler. Out just inside the 20.
They need Henderson, though. He's a big play guy. He's a difference maker for them going against that Washington State secondary. When they needed the big pass play, he's been the guy that Fajardo was throwing the ball to. Hopefully he can get back in the game.
Clock running here. 2 points of order for Nevada, really, Mike. I would think any kind of points here for Nevada makes this a 2-possession game.
Absolutely right. They need to get some kind of points on the board. And obviously Washington State needs to stop that.
This is Butler straight ahead. Setting up another 3rd and short after a gain of 2. Fajardo has completed his last 4 third-down passes if they elect to put it in the air here.
Washington State substituted almost the entire front line right there. Those guys getting beat down a little bit. They want some fresh bodies in. They need a stand right here.
Turner trying to make a move. He still needs to reach the 18 for a first down. Now he's coming back towards the near side and is tackled at the 22 for a loss. Well, a lot going on that play, but the end result for Washington State is positive as he was eventually able to be run down by Tracy Clark.
He ran about 50 yards. This is a reverse. See the fake there, going to toss him to the back. Great cutback block. I don't think he can block below the waist right there, but nice job. And then great pursuit by Washington State. They just continue, gets a couple other comeback blocks. Big tackle. He ran about 40 yards to lose 4.
So Brent Zuzo comes on to attempt his first field goal of the night. First field goal attempt of the year. He was 14 of 17 last year. This is a 40-yard attempt. And he makes it a moot point. Well, Nevada head coach Brian Polian told us yesterday, hey, I'm comfortable with Zuzo here at home from 55 yards and in. And I say at home because, remember, we're at 4,600 feet elevation. So the ball does travel a little further here in this light air.
It does, but you still got to put it down the middle of the uprights. And that wasn't a great snap. That was a great hold. And you're looking at going as a coach, oh my gosh, I took points off the board. We better make this. I'm putting the pressure on my players.
Do give credit to Braden Sanchez, who's also their punter and a wide receiver, but holding there did a nice job on what wasn't the greatest snap. And does make it a 24-13 game. But 4:25 to play for Washington State's offense. That's a lot of time.
It is, but now time becomes an issue here. And like I said, it's a lot of time. It's really how good a defense can Nevada play? How quickly can Washington State mount a scoring drive and then find a way to get the ball back?
Take it from the 15. Good starting field position up to the 34. Of course, Brian Polian, who's just 39 years old. He's the 6th youngest head coach in the Football Bowl subdivision. And yes, is the son of our own colleague at ESPN, Bill Polian.
He looks younger than 39, but he sounds older. His voice has aged a little bit in the last couple of years.
Now in his 2nd season here in Reno as the University of Nevada head coach, he says, hey, it's year 2. I'm much more comfortable than year 1.
Yeah, he's more comfortable with who he is and how he coaches, and the players are more comfortable with him.
Halladay dumps off the screen to the back. Fair and West. Gains about 6 on first down, met by Ian Seau. There's Seau, who is the nephew, We'll let juniors say out.
Washington State is going to be in their hurry-up mode. Get out of bounds, first down or touchdown. Nevada has to tackle in space.
Pass behind Galvin, and a chance to be picked off there by Brian Lane.
If he could have climbed a little higher on that ladder, he'd have had that one. Once again, Halladay just throwing to a spot, assuming his receiver's going to be there, not quite on the same page.
Halladay has been picked twice. Bailey is the receiver at the top of the screen. Maybe some confusion there between Galvin and Bailey. They were setting up the wide receiver screen, but who was supposed to receive the pass?
I think actually they were both running slant routes, and they didn't know who he was throwing the ball to. He floated that ball a little bit. This is obviously 4-down territory. There's no question about it at this point in the game. Might have been anyway, but this is a huge play, and obviously both sides want to win it. You got to play tight coverage because you only need 4 yards.
Bailey and Galvin again, the receivers at the top of the screen, and they hand it off, and he winds up short. Jamal Morrow.
Wow.
Brock Hecking, number 53, the first to stop his momentum, and he definitely came up about a yard short.
Well, there's no question. Hecking coming off the edge right there makes a sure tackle. And that, I'm actually surprised. I did not think they would run it on 4th and 4 right there. I thought they had chances to throw the ball, but I think they felt like they could catch the defense off guard, get those guys coming to pass rush. But tremendous play by a tremendous player, a guy that is an all-league player at this level, one of the best players they have, and the best players you have make plays at the right time.
The front took over on that last play because he was all business. Now the clock does become the enemy of Washington State, and Nevada trying to eat up as much of that clock as they can.
They're going to run the football. They're going to take time off between plays. And he does say that he does know who Brian Bosworth is. He didn't really give Hulk Hogan much credit when I asked him.
Yeah, he said the haircut was definitely the boss.
Yeah. All right. Defense got to come up with something right here. Washington State.
Got outside. Jackson got in the air and came down hard at the 39.
Smart play. That's well coached because he could have let himself be pushed out of bounds, jumped up, made sure he stayed in bounds to keep the clock moving.
So Washington State will use one of their last 2 timeouts. 3rd down and 5.
What are we up?
And Washington State has 1 timeout remaining.
They're going to score a touchdown.
Fajardo keeping. A couple yards shy of the first down, and Washington State used their final timeout to stop it with 2:46 to play.
Same play they've been running that he's been very successful. The defense played it better that time for Washington State. Still got some serious yards, but 4th and 2 here. You know, I don't know Coach Polian well enough to say we're going to run it on 4th down and win the game right here, or we're going to punt it down and play defense. Based on what I saw at the end of the first half, I'd say he'd punt it down, play defense, and rely on his defense to help win this game.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Pre-snap whistle. Boy, a penalty against Washington State could very well, for all intents and purposes, in this game.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 players lined up in the formation. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Coach Leach and the entire coaching staff, especially on defense, will not be very happy about that. You don't even give players a chance to try to win this game.
So the 10th Washington State penalty tonight gives Nevada a first down. Washington State no timeouts remaining and 2:45 to go. Nevada looks to run out the clock and take home a win at home against the Pac-12 team. To the 25. Goes down Jackson.
I don't have my table with me, but pretty soon they're going to be able to take a knee at 40 seconds a pop in between. So it'll be interesting. They still have to be worried about ball security. You got to protect the football on the snap and when you get tackled.
Jackson, ankle tackled at the 23. Well, we're under 2 minutes to go. Stopped there by Mitchell Peterson.
Mitchell Peterson had 16 tackles last week in the game. He said he surprised the entire team, but he just showed up everywhere. That was a huge tackle because had he missed that tackle, the guy cut back, he was going for a long ways.
Well, just computing the time right now, if they stop them, they could get the ball back, but with only about a half minute left on the clock.
Any time is better than none.
A tackle in the backfield. Jackson dropped for a loss by, guess who? Mitchell Peterson.
Came off the edge unblocked. You got to protect the edges when you get in your 4-minute offenses. This is when you want to run out the clock. But certainly right now they're going to let this thing go down all the way.
And Nevada has 2 timeouts. They could. 4th down and 6. Just 37 seconds remaining. Fajardo keeping. And when he's whistled down, the clock will stop on the change of possession. So Washington State get the football back at about their own 26-yard line with no timeouts left and 32 seconds to go and down by 2 scores.
Stranger things have happened. In 1971, UC Davis was down 15 points actually to Cal State Hayward, and they came back and scored 16 points in 20 seconds to win the game. So stay tuned. Amazing things can happen.
And I know there's a good reason why you remember that.
Well, I played on the Davis team that won. So I always, when I was coaching, I always said, you're never out of it. It's never over till it's over.
Thanks, Yogi. Bailey needs to get out of bounds. He took a couple of defenders with him. It's a big body to bring down, Vince Bailey at 6'3", 220.
It's a big body, and obviously they're trying to preserve the clock. Nevada has to try to tackle people inbounds and not give up the big play. Nothing behind you. Notice the safeties are 25 yards deep plus.
Halladay, if he tried to shovel it out of bounds or what the situation was there, but a penalty flag comes out, and Halladay slow to get up there on the Nevada sideline.
I think that was a late hit. That's any way you pass it. He was just trying to save yardage, stop the clock.
That's Seau chasing him. And Ryan Polian is
a little bit fired up. What do you think?
Necessary roughness. Defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's a teaching moment. You cannot do that when a guy's going out of bounds, no matter how close you are. Discretion, the better part of valor. Don't help them at this point in the game.
See, the ball had come out.
The ball had come out. He'd already tossed it away, so he's like a passer who's protected at that underneath.
Halladay fires underneath at the 30. Fighting his way forward is Isaiah Myers. They'll stop the clock to move the chains with 13 seconds left, first down.
I thought that was going to be the hook and ladder or hook and lateral. Looked like the other receiver's going to come behind him.
Halladay to the sideline. Stepping out is Morrow, the back, with just 2 seconds left. And they're at the 13-yard line, so time for one more play.
Yeah, I don't think the magic is going to happen now. I've never seen it done in 2 seconds.
So Nevada is going to beat a Pac-12 team at home. The first time since they beat Cal here in 2010. Final play of the game. And the final tackle made by Lenny Jones, and Nevada wins it 24-13.
Congratulations to Coach Napoleon and the Nevada Wolfpack. That's a great game. Washington State contributed to its own demise, but they controlled the football by running it.
Nevada improves to 2-0. Washington State drops to 0-2. Fun game here in Reno tonight. Sports Center coming your way next. For Shelley Smith and Coach Mike Bellotti and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one. 24-13, Nevada beats Washington State. Now let's City to Sports Center. Good night from Reno.